I think he's scared and insecure. He's not been here with a real fight before. And I think his emotions are boiling over, which is exactly the strategy we want coming out of swinging. Because obviously that makes big mistakes early on, and we're not trying to be here all night. We're trying to get him out there in the first round.
You've kind of presented as having not trained very hard, but you couldn't look the way you look in those pictures, having not trained very hard.
I've trained. It's the best version that I've ever been in my life.
At this age, it must be.
At this age, yeah. I couldn't be any better. I've sparred the best guys I could find. I've trained twice a day. I've stopped the alcohol for 6 weeks. I stopped the shagging for a month, which was very difficult for me. And yeah, I'm focused. I'm ready, and yeah, I really want to win. Actually, that's the reality. Is just from the bottom of my heart, I really want to win this fight because it could be my last one. It could be the one I retire off. So let's go out with a bang. Wembley Arena, West London, where I grew up, and getting the great newspapers like you guys wanted to meet with me, so I must be doing something right after all these years.
Before this all came around with KSI, I know there was like a little bit of something with Jake, and you'd had the Julia Rose thing at that fight. But were you happy enough, like with the way the whole thing with David went back in September 2021? Would you have been happy enough to kind of call it a day at that stage?
Yeah, this is kind of like the cherry on the ice, and I was kind of semi-retired really after David. You don't get bigger than fighting David Haye, you know, on pay-per-view with Donald Trump commentating with 50 Cent and Sean Porter, you know, and in Miami at a Hard Rock Casino. It doesn't get bigger than that. So I really, you know, for me that was the good one to go out on. But now I got another chance to prove myself in London against a durable kid who's going to try his best. But as I've said all along, the reality is he's a beginner. I think they're mad to even put him in the ring with me, and I'd be interested to see the result on Saturday night, because I think I'm really going to show a whole different class there. The thing is, they made a mistake of making me cut so much weight. There was no way I could have got down to 180 when I cruised at 210, living a life in Miami, sitting on the back of the yacht, eating lobster and caviar and champagne, and then go down to 180 if I didn't train twice a day. So I told them in the negotiations, like, you do realize by making me cut this weight, you think, oh, we're going to make him cut weight, we're going to dehydrate him, we're going to kill him, we're going to get him, you know, dead on the scales so that KSI can have the biggest advantage. But the reality is, I had to lose fat. And by losing fat, you have to train bloody hard. So if I'm going to go to the gym twice a day for 4 hours, well, I might as well train hard, you know what I mean? Because I only ever box for myself. And a good stat for you, when I fought Bella Juhasz at the O2 Arena 7 years ago, and remember, I started boxing for my mental health. I was fat, I was out of shape, I was depressed, I had loads of money, but I wasn't in a good mental state. And I started fighting to be healthy. And 7 years to the date, at the O2 Arena, I was weighing at 181 to fight Bella Juhasz. 7 years on, I'm weighing at 180, 40 years old. So if boxing was to make me healthier, it's worked. So I can't lose, I got no pressure. I'm a winner here, you know, just as in life. So just getting to knock him out is just going to be the pinnacle of the career, really. And I told him that. I said, I'll still respect you, thanks for giving me the opportunity. It's not, there ain't no bad blood, I ain't got a problem with him. He throws the money, you know, so this is kind of WWE. That's what Misfits is, it's a bit more entertainment than real boxing. It's just, you know, that goes viral now and a million kids retweet it. Oh, KSI threw money at Joe Fournier. But in the ring, it's just me and him. There is no YouTube camera, and he's just going to get knocked out.
You and Jake, obviously, it's a weird one. Like, he was like making, like, I talked to him the other day, and he was like not very complimentary of you. He said you were old, and then you guys were kind of friends when you did the show, the BS with Jake Paul. What's the story there?
I think Jake has to keep his beef with KSI, right? Because ultimately that's their money spinner one day if it ever happens. But if they both keep losing, maybe it won't happen. So even though I saw him on Sunday at the Grand Prix in Miami, he was cool, he was chatting, he caught up, you know, had BJ, his coach, coming down to Miami and watching me train. So there's definitely no bad blood for me, and I know there isn't for him, but he has to play this fight down because he has to build his own fight up and his own brand, his own promotion. I know KSI and Jake have real beef. I don't care. I don't have bad blood with any of these guys.
I wanted to.
I've got my own problems, not some YouTube.
I wanted to ask as well. You had a little bit of a beef, but a back and forth with Wade Plemons, the former commentator. What was the story there? What happened with you and Wade?
I've never met this guy in my life. You know little Fred Beck, the young kid that does the videos? So he's really sweet, and off record, he asked me like some life advice, because he only really leaves his house to do videos. He's a very introverted person. So I grew to like the kid. He's a young kid, aspirational, wants to grow up and do things in his life and build a channel. And he reached out and said, this guy called Wade would love to interview you. He's a big fan, whatever. So Wade reaches out. I said, no problem, let's do the video. Then he accused me of all these things were total nonsense. Right, the guy that held the pad is sitting right there. You can go ask him if we sped up any videos. I said, there's music in the background. How can you speed me up, but not the music? So anyway, this kid goes around, and I said to him, you know, you're asking me to help your channel. You need this content. What the difference does it make to me if I'm on this channel or not? Do you know what I mean? So
he's big in the YouTube.
He's irrelevant in my life. In my life, he's totally relevant. Like in my world, where I make real money, where I get paid, where like things actually where I pay my bills, there's nothing to do with this guy. Never heard of him in my life. Never knew who he was. So I'm just doing the guy a favour, right? And he's an insulting. So he's texting me going, great, can't wait for tomorrow. And then people are sending me tweets of him. I don't even have Twitter. He sent me tweets, he's insulting. I'm like, mate, are you like bipolar or something? And then he puts up all this stuff where he manipulates all the words, try and make it look good on him. I ain't gonna waste my time on bad energy. And I said that yesterday in an interview. Anything that's bad energy, I don't go anywhere near it. If you're just trying to or put people down, that's your insecurity. I don't need to engage with you.
Are you happy enough that he's not on the broadcast?
I wouldn't even know who he is. I wouldn't care. Like, it would make no difference in my life. For me, he's a relevant human being. There's no good or bad. I have no ill feeling. Everyone in their life needs to follow their path. Your path is to insult people, to try and get clicks online, and that makes you feel better in life and makes you go to bed well at home, then that's your life. In my opinion, that would be a very miserable life. But if that makes you happy, do it.
You mentioned Trump and 50 Cent there commentating on your last fight. Did you actually watch it back with their commentary?
Of course. Trump said he loves the billionaire.
Did he question your billionaire status though?
No.
Hey, did he say, well, I know a lot of billionaires, I never met this guy?
No, what he actually said is, he goes, I don't know if he's actually a billionaire, but he's just clearly a very successful guy and a good boxer because he's in here doing well. Yeah. See, you're the press again, trying to twist things. Come on, man.
But you are like you. It was an honor, obviously. Like whether you like him or dislike him as a politician, like to have him.
What was he ever done wrong to me, Donald Trump?
Of course.
He's a president of a country. A lot of people like him. Probably the biggest country in the world, the United States of America. So he's very liked.
Pretty cool to have him on your fight.
Very cool to have him. Whilst he was president.
It was like just after, yeah.
Was it?
It was like 2021, so he just left office. Like it was one of his first appearances after. But yeah, it's definitely he's one of the celebrities. There's gonna be a lot of celebrities on Saturday night at this fight. So tell us finally to go back to Saturday. What is your prediction for this one? What can fans expect?
I think he's gonna come running out with his chin in the air, and I'm gonna hit that chin, and then he's gonna go to sleep for 10 seconds. I'm gonna pick him up, give him a cuddle, say thank you very much, appreciate it. I'm gonna get on a plane with a load of girls, have a great time in Rome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.